Everyone, it is Thursday, April 23rd, and this video is to tell you about the health report presentations and what all has changed with that. And I also wanted to explain a little bit more about what I'm expecting and how to upload your assignment. So for those of you that have looked ahead on D2L, I have decided to move this assignment back to the same day that your health report is due. So the new due date deadline is May 6th. It's a Wednesday. And so it's about 2 weeks away from today. And that will be the day that all of your final project components, both the written health report and the online recorded presentation, are due. Originally, the presentation was due earlier because we were going to meet for our last week in class, and it, would have been nice to share those with the group and do them in class and bring some food and do kind of a potluck um, style celebration to the end of the class. But now we are going to practice our online video recording skills one more time and just do it this way. So to find out some more information about this assignment, so if you go to D2L and you see on the left-hand side health report assignments and go all the way down to part 6, final project and presentation, you will see that I have two things there. So the first thing is a grading rubric. And so in a second, I'm going to explain what I want you to do with these presentations, but read through the grading rubric as well. This will be the sheet that Lori and I use when we watch your presentations to grade you. The second thing that you'll see there is a link to upload yourselves your video to TechSmith Relay. I didn't know that TechSmith Relay had the capacity to allow students to upload their own videos, so that certainly would have been a little bit easier for our current health report presentations, but nonetheless, I found that. So when your video is done, you'll just click on the pretty lengthy link I have there and upload your video. And the only thing to remember is to click, there's a settings button, and click settings and make it public so that myself, Lori, and other students in the class can see your video. All right, so I'm going to open up the grading rubric while I'm talking to you, and we can go through it together. So essentially, let's see. So I just updated this, and I'm opening up a older version of this, so that's not helpful. So just so you know, I will update the new version here in a second. But essentially, you are going to be presenting a quick synopsis of your paper. So kind of the key points, but to give you a guide as to what I'm expecting, that's why I created the rubric. So you are aiming for 4 to 5 minutes. Now, to get it to fit within that window, you might have to practice a time or two. So it's intentional that it's sort of, I want you to not talk too much, but also not talk too little. So you should have enough content in there to fill up between 4 and 5 minutes. So what you're going to do, and you can follow the rubric when you're writing your script if that's how you do it, but introduce the health disparity. So what are you talking about? Introduce us to the population that you are researching or have researched for your paper. Then I want you to pick 3 main points. So you may have more than 3 main points for your paper, but I only want you to pick 3, and I want you to share those main points with the rest of the class. So you'll notice that we're grading you on both the content and the clarity of how you present those main points. So you'll see you get full points for each of these categories if, let's see, main points, content, all 3 main points were complete. If only 2 main points were complete, you lose a point. So kind of as you're listening to me, like pause me for a second and try to find that rubric and follow along. Then I want you to choose one graph or table or figure and share with the rest of the class and Lori and I what that graph was, why you chose it, and what it tells you. So some of you, especially some of you, I've seen your rough drafts, you have about 4 or 5 figures in there. So just pick one and explain to us what it's telling us and why you chose to include it. Then you will talk about the professional recommendations you spoke about in your paper and the personal ones. And then at the very end of your video recording, I want you to create a couple sentence conclusion. So what did you learn? What were the big takeaways? So I noticed that for a lot of your current health disparity presentations, you guys had so much content. It was really awesome. And then it was sort of the end. And you just turned the video off and there was no real kind of like concluding summary statement. So you will also be graded or get some points for the conclusion. So make sure that you add a good conclusion. And then you'll notice at the very bottom, so there's a professional section. So, just don't be in your pajamas and, sit up straight and enunciate and, don't like cover your mouth when you're talking or, look over here. Pets are great. I mean, sure, have your dog on your couch next to you. But we do still, even though it's online, want to maintain some level of professionalism, when we're presenting. So we will also grade you on that. And then lastly is the timing. So talking for 7 minutes is, just as bad as talking for 1 minute. So we really want to try to keep it right between the 4 and 5 minutes. So hopefully that helps. Again, I think now that the one nice thing about doing this online is that we could actually make the deadline closer to when the paper's due. So, I might, if it were me, I would write the paper, I'd finish it, I'd submit it early so I wouldn't, don't have to get all nervous that, coming down to the wire, and then I would spend May 6th, looking over your paper, picking out those main points and coming up with your presentation. So if you have any questions, please let me or Lori know. And we look forward to seeing all of your presentations on TechSmith Relay. So hopefully you all take some time and look at each other's, learn from each other. And one more thing, I guess I just gave you the recommendation to write your paper and then this, but if you tend to have issues with technology, it may be best to try to upload a video to that TechSmith site just to see if it works before, 4:55 on that day. All right, well, hope all is going well and everybody's staying healthy, and I will upload the video now to our D2L. Take care.